Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? So, big day. Well, it doesn't show it on here anymore, but we had a nice rally on Trade Desk today on their earnings. So, fortunately, it's not showing it on TradingView anymore. Although, if I put TradingView to a 24-hour candle here, 24-hour time frame, you could see we're up 22% today on Trade Desk. So congratulations to anyone who participated in that trade. Smacked right up into that 90 level, right at the upper end, made back in July. It was also back in this range back in December 2020, and it looks like December 21, November 21. So expected area of resistance. I didn't have this level set up here. I wasn't expecting this stock to move up that much. I kind of just put this $90 level there, and yeah. So big returns. I don't even know what the returns are like on this. I can't even backtest it yet since the data has been processed by Thinkorswim. So I don't even know how much this option paid out, but it's probably a lot. Probably a lot. So it's good to be back. Haven't streamed in a couple days. Got to sneeze. Still getting over the flu from last week. It's still kicking my it's not kicking my butt as much anymore, but still got a cough, still got a runny nose, still blowing my nose, all that good stuff. So hopefully in the next week or so I'm back to operating order, and yeah, need to be 100% healthy for you guys so I can keep streaming every day. Well, I don't stream every single day, but I'd like to. But yeah, so big gains made on Trade Desk. Again, still holding my. I am not participating in the Trade Desk trade. Unfortunately, I wish I did. I would have made a lot of money. Congratulations to anyone who is in that trade right now. I put it on my stream. You could check my stream from 2 weeks ago. I suggested Fortinet, Nvidia, and Trade Desk, and so far all three of them have been playing out great. Fortinet's been probably the laggard. It's only up 35%. Again, everyone knows Nvidia is doing well, and Trade Desk, well, they really did well today. They've been doing well this month so far. We can measure where they were from market close. So I suggested to buy the stock on the 31st. So you'd be up 10% underlying, and now on a 24-hour time frame after their earnings, I mean, man, this is a home run. This is probably the best trade right here for the month. 32% gain. So, yeah. Anyways, I thought I would hop on tonight, do a quick update on that, and yeah. Been playing around with some SPX backtesting today. I've been trying to formulate a new strategy. It's more so a day trading strategy. Well, maybe more of an overnight swing strategy. So I've been kind of messing around with that, with backtesting. It's still in the works. I'm still testing the results, and it's a lot of work to backtest this stuff. I'm trying to figure out faster ways to backtest, but unfortunately, sometimes when you want to get accurate pricing, you need to do stuff manually. Well, at least manual to a certain degree. Hey T, it's good to see you. So yeah, I'm thinking about trading some SPX here soon. Either SPX or SPX may be a little too much as far as day trading, maybe too much for my risk appetite. So I may go with SPY. But I'm thinking about trying a strategy, but I don't know how it's going to work. It's kind of, I feel like I'm better off just sticking to seasonality as far as picking a asset to day trade instead of just, systematically buying and selling every day for like SPX, let's say. I like to be dynamic with what I trade. I don't like to stick with one stock for more than like a month or for a certain amount of time that it historically performs well. That I want to be in an asset that's performing well for a certain period of time. Because I know eventually, even the best stocks like Nvidia, Tesla, all those stocks, they eventually putter out, and they have their chop phases and their downwards phases. So you always got to be looking, elsewhere. You got to see where the money's flowing. So the feed isn't staying on play on my end. Keeps clicking off. Should be up. Let me check the stream on my end here. Let me go to my channel. Let's see, live. Yeah, seems like it's fine. Everything's fine on my end, so maybe try refreshing the browser. Maybe something to do with that. I just checked on my end and heard my voice, and I saw my screen, so it should be having no issues here. My stream connection's good too, so I was playing music before with like a overlay. I kind of added a like a starting stream overlay. I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit better, just so people have time to get in before I start speaking. But I feel like most people just join, once I'm already streaming. So I hope everyone's having a good week. I know it's been a busy week in the markets. It's been awesome. Markets this week have been great. Yesterday was very nice for Nvidia, up 2.46%. Again, we're just waiting on earnings, right? So far, Trade Desk and Fortinet had great earnings. I know SoundHound, or not SoundHound, one of the other AI plays, I think it was Applied Materials, AMAT. We've looked at this stock in the past. They reported their earnings, I think, today, right? Let's go look on Yahoo Finance to go see how they performed. But Applied Materials, they reported today. We can go take a look at AMAT and go see. I think they're up 12%. So, Applied Materials in that same sector, in that same genre, AI, chip manufacturer, semiconductor. So, listen, they're still seeing high demand for AI chips. And if that's the case, especially with AMAT and these other semiconductor manufacturers, well, Nvidia should be seeing the same demand. Nvidia still can't keep up with their demand. They have more. They create their semiconductors and ship them all out the door. They have no leftover material at the end of the day. So they're constantly trying to get more and more semiconductors produced and sent out to make more profit. So I'm expecting Nvidia to at least come in with good earnings, and from there, we'll see. Really what it's going to come down to is their guidance. So, and I think they're going to show good guidance, as have the other semiconductor companies. Listen, the AI demand is huge right now, and you're seeing it happening across each industry. And people are starting to compare this to the dot-com bubble, maybe the crypto craze, and there's some validity to that. But I mean, the bottom line says it all. There are massive profits and there's massive demand behind semiconductors right now. And it makes sense. I mean, everything, you think about everything that we have in our life right now, technology, phones, cameras, TVs, I mean, everything, computers, everything's ran by, even cars, everything's being driven by semiconductors. So, that I think that demand is only going to increase. And hey, listen, Nvidia just has a great moat against their competition in the artificial intelligence realm. So hats off to them. And it makes sense as to why their stock is moving up this much. So yeah, Trade Desk, again, if you look back into my streams, this was one of the stocks I suggested. Um, Went up huge. I wish I were part of it. I only participated in Nvidia and Fortinet, which have both been treating me well. But man, maybe I should be maybe I should be participating in all my suggestions from now on, which I may be able to now because I have a little bit more risk to put on the table going forward. The thing is, like the way I trade is I keep my percentage risk for each month the same and apply that to the new dollar amount. So let's say I risk 5% of $1,000 and that 5% of risk pays out, let's say 200% returns. I'm turning what would that be? $50 on $1,000, 5%. Let's say I'm returning $200 or $100 profit. So it's 2 to 1 or 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now I would have $1,100 to risk, right? So if you apply 5% to 1,100, now you're talking, I think like 55, somewhere around there. So as your dollar amount increases and you keep your risk, your risk that you're willing to lose, the amount of risk you put into each trade, you should be able to increase size naturally just by using the same amount of risk. I kind of just like went into a circle with my words there, but I think everyone gets the point. So I think next month for March, I may be able to put on 3 trades at once. It really comes down to the pricing and what's out there. Each month varies. Again, and me, I'm very dynamic the way I trade. I like jumping around. I think that's why I've done better with my trading recently, over like the past year or so, because I'm able to keep jumping to different things instead of like just going, okay, I'm going to trade SPX every single day, month in, month out, year after year. Like eventually you're going to run into a wall doing that and lose money because the S&P doesn't always perform well, right? There's months to years where it just kind of oscillates, doesn't just trade sideways. Maybe not years, but for a while it could do nothing. And with options, time decay or theta, even if a stock stays break even while you're in the trade, you could still lose money just because of theta. So I'm always chasing the greed. I'm always chasing the gains. I'm always trying to follow where the money's flowing, where it typically flows at certain times of the year. And that's it. I mean, it's really cut and paste simple. Like I said, I've said this in many of my streams before. I think the hardest part about what I do, the strategy that I use, it's a very systematic, mechanical way of trading. It's not very discretionary. If anything, when I make discretionary decisions within this strategy, I actually make less money. Netflix is a great example from last month. Last month, I decided to cut my Netflix profits early, right after earnings. So we had this move up on Netflix. Let me change this to a daily chart. We had this move up on Netflix right here. It went up 10%. I took my profits I think at 557 right here. But if I held for a few more days into the end at the close of the month, like I usually do, I probably would have squeezed out an extra $500 in profit. But because I decided to go the discretionary route and say, okay, this is a lot of gains in one day. Let me just take my profits now. I actually lost out on some opportunity. And you can call it greed or fear or whatever, but you know, I like typically like the way I trade, I can literally put on my trade, do all my analysis, do all my planning, put on my trade for 30 days and walk away from my computer, not even look at a single stock for the entire month. And if anything, that's like just as good as watching the screens every day, because you're less likely to go, oh my God, I'm up, 30% underlying, right? Like the stock I got into is up 30% this month. I made 300% on my option. Most people would pull their money out, but if you simply just follow your strategy and trade based on time, you're probably going to make more money. And my back testing has shown that I do make more money if I just let the trade run. So yeah, that's my rant. So I hope you all are having a great week. It's almost Friday. I cannot believe how fast this week went. Yeah, it's just been like crazy fast. But another great week in the market so far. We'll see how tomorrow ends up. Right now, the futures are flat, so nothing really going on there. But so far, the earnings across like many companies have been great. I know like Snapchat got slammed last week. I think another one, I forgot which one. Let me check my notifications on. I get the Yahoo Finance notifications. DraftKings, Roku, DoorDash. So we had some stocks dip. So let's see. Yelp. So Yelp went down. Let's go look at Yelp. So these are all like small cap, non-profit. I don't know if Yelp is profitable. Let's go check. I'm going to set this to 24-hour chart. Oh my God. All right, 7%. Not horrible. Again, Yelp is a $3 billion market cap. You guys know me. I probably wouldn't be touching this stock. It's a little too low of a market cap for me. As far as seasonality goes for this stock, I don't even know what it looks like. Looks like April's typically better. But as far as February goes, it's not a great stock. It seems like March has been a better month for Yelp, but Yelp took a hit. Let's see what else took a hit. DoorDash. All right, DoorDash went up and then went down, but nothing crazy. Pretty much flat. So that's Dash. What else? Coinbase reported today. Coinbase, very nice. Went up about 13% today, or 10% after earnings. Looks like Coinbase. All right, not new highs, but again, it makes sense. Coinbase is going up. Bitcoin volumes have been higher. I mean, they've been making hand over fist probably with fees. Let's go check Coinbase on February. So again, like here's a perfect example of seasonality working out. Coinbase, let me take off. So we're just looking at 2021, 2022, 2023 for Coinbase. Now this is only 3 years of data, which I never trade based off of this limited amount of data. But Coinbase typically does well in February. It's gone up 100% of the time each February, going back 3 years. And so far this month for Coinbase, it's living up to that name, right? So, again, just another trade that probably would have done great if I were in, but you can't get in every single trade. A lot of the times you're just sitting back watching this stuff happen, and it's always the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Roku, I know Roku is another one that I was hearing about. It was actually a stock that someone wanted to play with back in January. I told him not to play with it. I was going into Netflix for January last month, and Roku's a direct competitor to Netflix, and they thought, okay, this should be another stock that I should be in. It's not, and Roku, I don't really like Roku as far as trading goes. Probably better stock to play with in May or June. But yeah, they got slammed on their earnings, down about 12%. What else? So Trade Desk was one of the only ones that really shot up like this. I think it was like one of the best trades of the earnings season so far. I mean, 22%. Trade Desk is a pretty big company, right? 37 billion. It's not a small cap. So, DraftKings, I think that's a DKNG, right? DKNG. Again, looks like very similar to Dash's performance here, just down, back up. So only down about 2%. And then Trade Desk looks good. AMAT, we were just looking at AMAT before. Applied Materials, again, another semiconductor, direct competitor, and same sector as NVIDIA. Their stock shot up about 10% after earnings, or post-market. So is that something that we're going to see for NVIDIA? Is NVIDIA going to jump up, 5-10%? I don't know. We'll see. They gave good guidance. Their numbers came in line. The guidance is what really matters. As long as you meet the earnings, that's fine. If you meet or beat, that's fine. But the future guidance, that's really what most people are watching out for. That's what the big money's looking out for. And Trade Desk, again, you could see, looks like I know there's news. Let's go to Trade Desk here. You can see the news for Trade Desk. Trade Desk stock soars as earnings forecast crushes expectations. There you go. That's what makes the stock price shoot up right there. So the earnings itself, they're important, right? They should come in line. They should be at analyst expectations. But the forecast is what really seals the deal and sends that stock flying. So again, it's just that time of the year, seasonality. The money's driving into these stocks right now. Tech is big during the winter time. So, I mean, tech is big almost year round. Most of the stuff I trade is tech related. I think any big company nowadays, I mean, you can look at the top stocks right here on my stock screener. Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, all the biggest, largest market cap stocks are all technology. Even like the ones like Visa, they're tech stocks. I mean, they're not tech stocks, but they are heavily driven by technology. So makes sense. So yeah, that's about it. What else do we have on the agenda? That's about all I wanted to talk about as far as what happened today. Again, looking towards the future now. All eyes are on NVIDIA. So that's going to be the big decider. We still have until next Wednesday. So it's going to be fun. So I may try to do a stream for NVIDIA earnings. If you guys want to do that, let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to do a earnings stream. Hopefully I can be available for it. My schedule is changing a lot week by week as far as work goes, so I can't always be at my computer, or at least always be at my desk to stream. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll try to do it. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't do it is because there's so many other people out there streaming about the same thing, like NVIDIA earnings or whatever other earnings are going on Wednesday. So it's kind of like, all right, let everyone else do my job, whatever happens, happens. But NVIDIA is also a big stock to watch, right? So I may try to stream it. So if you guys haven't already, if you want to be around for that, if any of you are new to the stream, make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the like button. That's like the best thing you do for me. Like, I give away all this content for free. I give away my strategies for free. I answer questions like galore. I have a free Discord, completely free. I will link that right now, so you guys have that. Let me copy that and paste it into here. Oh, that's not the link. Let me grab it from here. So, I try to give everything away for free. Again, all my content is free on my channel. You can go see how I go about researching stocks, back testing, my strategy itself. Like, try to do the good deed. Let's see, copy this and put that there. So my Discord link is there. It's also in the description of the stream. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and join up. And yeah, that's about it. So my Thinkorswim today was giving me issues. I was doing like some heavy back testing. I was back testing day trades. So I was having issues with Thinkorswim, and it kept crashing my computer. I don't know if it's like a RAM issue or just like I don't know, but it always crashes my computer. My computer is like pretty beefy. I spent like $2,000 on it a couple years ago, so I used to be more of a very big computer nerd back in high school. I used to build computers back in like 2012. And man, I knew about NVIDIA and AMD so early on. Like, and the funny thing is, when I first got into like trading stocks in like 2015, my first stocks that I bought, I think the first stock I ever bought was NVIDIA. Man, I am like kicking myself in the butt today for not holding on to that. I don't even know how much I paid for it, but it was definitely, before stock split. So yeah. Oh, no problem, Alfonso. Glad you're enjoying, man. sorry I have a cough, and I keep having to mute my mic and blow my nose. I've been really just like, last week I was in bed. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was in bed for 4 days with a fever of like 102. Just drinking NyQuil, trying to like beat out this flu. I got it right after going snowboarding with all my friends, and all my friends got sick too. So kind of sucked. It is what it is, but trying to get back. I'm still like sluggish too. I'm like tired. I'm still sleeping good, but like I wake up and I just like kind of like unmotivated, which is typical after getting the flu. So probably just have to drink more water. But I'm sure by next week I'll be in a running order. I'll be much better. But yeah, so for this month, we are up, or I'm up $7,857, and that's risking. Let's see, I bought NVIDIA for $2,900 and Fortinet for $400, so I put about $3,300 of risk on the table. So my total return, 211% total return. You can see the trades here. For proof, I bought these on January 31st as per my strategy. I buy it on the last day of the month, and then I sell after 30 days on the last day of the month. So I always keep the WebTOS up just in case I need to place a trade desktop. Yeah, so I'm not the only one, I guess. I've tried using the desktop before. I don't like it as much as the I've tried using the web browser version of Thinkorswim. I like the desktop a lot more, but man, like sometimes this software can act up. But so yeah, that's the trade lineup for this month. So I'm happy. Technically, I could just like close out my trades right now and sit back for the month. But man, I'm waiting for that NVIDIA earnings, because if we pop up 5%, 10%, I'm gonna be really in the money. I'll probably be up. I mean, we're already up like 260%. Yeah, you're talking another 100% gain. So could be potentially looking at over, probably like $10,000 in profit just on NVIDIA alone. And I don't know where Fortinet's going to be. Hopefully up more. I think I'll make about 100% on Fortinet. That's what it typically returns, but we'll see. Nothing's guaranteed. You know, all this stuff is up in the air until the last day of the month, until you execute your trades. You know, I love looking at my open P&L, but you know, next week Nvidia earnings can come out and we dump 20% and I get wiped out. So, you know, I'm not celebrating yet, but I'm just showing you guys, like, I'm being transparent as I've always been. I mean, you could see here, this is a real account. Real trades, real account. That's it. Like, no BS. And you know, I don't sell anything either. You guys know that. I've been debating putting up a paywall for my Discord because I've been getting scammers, but I think I have a workaround for that to keep it free. But unfortunately, the workaround involves having a link to the Discord for inviting people, that link will expire within a certain amount of time. So I'm actually limiting the potential people that want to join, simply going through like my channel description. So it's kind of like a, you know, win-lose situation. But for now, I'm gonna keep it up. But the Discord's growing great. I mean, we have a pretty good community growing right now. I have about 36 people in the Discord, and then I have a couple mods that are my friends, and then myself, of course. So I haven't really posted too much. But yeah, like, I think the more people that get into there, I would love for you guys to like interact with each other, and yeah. But I know as swing traders, and trading itself is more of an introverted type of career, I guess, or hobby. It can be a career, but starting out, it should be a hobby. In my opinion, you shouldn't put serious money at it at first because you'll most likely lose. I learned the hard way. But it's nice to have other people to talk to. So, yeah. But as far as March is going, I'm gonna be. So we're almost up next week. I mean, we're gonna be closing out the month soon. A couple weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, we'll be closing out this trade. So the weeks fly by, man. They fly by. I can't believe it's already gonna be March in a couple weeks. Yeah, March, and then you got April. So it's looking good. As far as March goes, let's start looking at some potential candidates as far as alternative trades. I already have my main trade set up, so I'll be releasing that soon. But let's see what we got on the list. So it looks like Lululemon is a good option for March. Oh, that's new. Looks like it has a good median return too. I exclude the 2020 March dump. I go with Lululemon. I mean, that's a big company too. So let's go see how much they are. Okay, very expensive. So let me go calculate my risk for a moment. So Lululemon may be one that I'm looking at. Let's see, Regeneron. ANET. Let's go see this. ANET may be a good choice. Their technology, right? What does ANET do? I think they are semiconductor, right? computer peripherals. Let's go see cloud marketing, switching around platforms. Okay, what's the market cap? 83 bill. Okay. And their earnings, they dumped 5% on earnings, but now they got a nice gap. It's looking nice. Ain't that baby a good opportunity? So I think in the next week or so, we'll be looking at some trades. So got Apple on the list too. Very interesting. ASML. So we'll have to let's take a look. You know, not every month I'm gonna suggest alternative stocks. I mean, I try to pick the cheap stuff, but you know, because I know like certain stocks are too expensive. But I think for certain months, I'm not gonna suggest like other stocks, or at least play with other stocks, because you're gonna see as I go on through each month. Like this month, I'm not releasing what I'm gonna be doing for March just yet. I will soon. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time. So make sure you're watching the streams. And of course, like you can always, if I stream and you miss out on the stream, you could just go back and watch the whole thing. You know, the reason why I stopped posting YouTube videos, and I'm sure many of you already heard this, I don't want people to just like come into my YouTube channel and just be like, okay, what is he buying this month? All right, he's buying Apple. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you next month. Like, I'm not a trade alert person. Like, if I wanted to do that, I could just be like 99% of everyone else and just sell trades. I'd rather you guys like learn and still make money and still learn and still have a great time, but you know, be part of a community and actually care about it. I mean, if you really want to be serious about trading, and do good at it for a long time, that's the important. You could be a good trader for 1 month, but can you be a good trader for a decade? That's a huge difference. So I really want you guys to, you know, and I already see familiar faces always popping up into my stream. So that's great. And I love seeing that. And that's also why I started a Discord, so we can retain that community. So, hey Monkey, it's good to see you, man. You know, Monkey's here every week with me. Raul too. So Raul, T, Monkey, I mean, these guys are with me week in, week out. So it's good, and I think they're learning, and I think a couple of them have already made some money off of using my strategy and doing their own research. You know, I always encourage you guys to do your own research, do your own back testing. I want you guys to learn too. I don't want you guys just mimicking what I'm doing, because I could stop making content next month and that's it. Like if you guys are relying on me solely to, you know, make trades, then that's not a good thing. You know, if you want to do that sort of stuff, there's plenty of guys out there that will happily take, you know, $100 a month from you and, you know, give you trades that don't even work out half the time. So that's the other thing. I don't mind giving out trades, and if they don't work out, it's like, well, it's just a suggestion, right? And I freaking pound the table on risk management. Like, don't put your money into a trade that you're not willing to lose, right? So, and that's why I'm trying to like give out alternative trades that are cheaper, like Trade Desk and Fortinet, which are working out this month so far. You know, those trades, I think they were like $400 and $600. Like, they're pretty, I mean, that's as cheap as you're going to get with an option. I'm sure there's cheaper options out there, like options premiums that you could pay for, but you know, you need a little bit of an account to you know, trade options. Options are not for the faint-hearted. They're definitely for people who know what they're doing. And I think most of you guys know what you're doing. You just need a little bit of guidance and a little bit of education as far as analyzing and looking for yield, So, and I lost a lot of money in the markets, and I've made a lot of money in the markets, and I know what it's like to go on that roller coaster. I know it all too well. Learning and adapting to your methodology. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's what you should be doing. And people say, some people don't like my strategy the way I trade 100%. Some people say, oh, if it goes up, if you buy in, you get into a trade and the stock goes up and you make 100%, 200%, 300% on an options contract, I've had people say, why don't you just sell it now? And they're not wrong, but that's not how I trade. But if that's how you want to trade, I fully encourage you to, if you feel, especially if you need the money too, I encourage you taking profits and using stop losses if you need to. So I try not to use stop losses, and I try to stick to my strategy and my time-based strategy as far as entering and exiting. So again, it's to each their own. So, hey Monkey, I don't know if you were in the stream before, but Trade Desk, I know you were in my stream when I suggested Trade Desk. Look at this thing, man, up 22% on earnings. I mean, I don't know if anyone on my streams or in my Discord have. I don't know if anybody was in this TTD trade. I wasn't in it. I got into Fortinet. You know me. I got into Fortinet and Nvidia this month. I didn't touch Trade Desk. I wish I did now. And I was talking about it last stream. I was like, maybe I'll buy a 10 DTE just like to play the earnings. Man, I wish I did that because I'd be up so much right now. I'd be up like probably 500% on like a $200 position. I would have made like the easiest $1,000 in my entire life. But you know what? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? So it is what it is. But man, like this thing shot up, went right up to that 90 level. I think that's well, you're not going to see it on here until tomorrow because I don't like TradingView when it comes to this stuff. They don't show their post-market price on screen unless I set this to a 24-hour. But you can look on Yahoo Finance, it's up like 20%. But man, it like smacked right up into this 90 level. It sat right there. It actually went higher than that. So, but I think this position was like, I think it was like $500, $600. So, oh, Hershey. Let's go look at Hershey. Because that was one we were looking at, and then I kind of veered away from. Yeah, Hershey. Kind of been a little sideways. Would I have volume profile on this? Oh, I did. Okay, let me delete that. It did pop on earnings a little bit here. Got smacked back down, huh? Kind of like Fortinet. Fortinet did the same thing. It went up like 10%, then it got smacked down. Yeah. So like that was the thing with Hershey. I was looking at it and like everything looked good at the surface. And then when I started back testing it, the returns like were very minimal, and I was just like, it's not worth it. I mean, you have to have that reward for the risk to make sense. I mean, this could have been a great like quick trade, right? If you sold somewhere on earnings, you could have made good money. But I was just looking at the stock itself. It's a very slow moving stock. If I look at the beta here, the beta on the stock is 0.36. So basically that means that, let's say the S&P is up 1%, beta, it being 0.36, a 1% move in the S&P, this stock, Hershey, only moves up 0.36% on average. So It's a low beta. You need a higher beta, especially with options. You need that volatility to really kick in those profits when you're in the money. Go on 4 hour and you'll see the after hours. Yeah. So I was looking at, you can look at the 4 hour, right? So the 4 hour works. I pay for TradingView so I can use like custom timeframes. I look at the 24 hour. So it's pretty much a daily chart with the after hours, and you can see, look at that thing. Beautiful. Yeah, no problem, man. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. I enjoy making it. I do this as a hobby, you know. Do it all as a hobby. But, you know, I've struggled a lot with trading before, and I found success in it. And now it's just like, and I look out at the communities, well, not the communities, but like the gurus and all the bad advice and the con artists, basically. And I'd rather try to put out the content. I don't care if I become famous or not. My intentions are not to become, actually, I hope I don't become famous or popular on YouTube, because it may be a little overwhelming for me. I'm not one for a lot of attention. I just like to speak with like-minded people in a small, close-knit group. So, yeah. But I really enjoy putting out content, as busy as I am. So, I think one other thing I wanted to start doing, which would kind of be fun. I don't know if you guys notice, I have kind of like a little bit of a, well, I hate to say this, but like a little bit of wit. I can be a little bit of a smart ass. So, but I love going on Zillow and looking at house listings, and just looking at the most ridiculous house listings and just roasting them. It's kind of like a pastime of mine. So I've kind of like thought about doing that for a stream, or like just start doing it like after I go through all my analysis and answer questions, and just kind of do like a real estate Zillow stream, a realtor stream, and just like, and I know a decent amount about homes. Well, I'm pretty good with my hands too. My father taught me a lot. I'm fortunate enough to have that. And so when I see stuff on like house listings and like just like bad work, like craftsmanship and like bad things done to a house, I just love to roast it. But I don't know if I would do that. I kind of want to stay focused on the main objective for this channel. But it kind of makes sense though. Real estate and finance, it goes hand in hand. And hey, you guys don't know. Maybe if we make enough money, we may be looking to buy a house. I think that's the smartest thing to do if you make a bunch of money. Just take it all and go buy a house. You know, buy a house cash, and then you have the rest of your life to worry about making extra money. So, do it while you're young. It's a lot easier when you're young, you know, to save and buy a house. Excuse me. So, all right. So, that's enough of that. I am looking at doing more day trades, overnight swing trades. Basically, it's the same. I can explain the strategy right now. So, if you know my strategy of buying at the end of the month and then holding for 30 days, basically you're taking that same idea, but instead of doing it every 30 days, you do it every single day. Right? So in this case, I'd be buying a call option at the end of the day, every single day, holding it through the night, market opens, and then hold it until the end of the day. So basically, it's the same idea as swing trading, my strategy, but doing it on a more frequent level. And I started back testing for like SPX, SPY, QQQ, the normal, the regular suspects. And then, I started playing around. Oh, maybe if I use seasonality, if I know that, like, let's say Trade Desk does very well in the month of February, what if I just buy a call option every day? And as far as what I'm buying, let's say it was SPX here. Whoops. SPX. I'll stick into like a 5 DTE. So you buy a 5 DTE and then you hold it for 1 day. So you hold it until 4 DTE. So I've been messing around with that. I'll probably get back to you guys. It's going to take me a long time to backtest. So instead of backtesting every month, I'm backtesting every day, which is a lot more intense. And man, I'll tell you what, my computer was like about to explode today with the amount of data I was processing through Thinkorswim, backtesting all this SPX data. It's a lot. It's a lot to work with. But I did do it for like January, and it was profitable. Like I turned pretty much around about like $3,000 of risk, let's say on average, to like 10,000. So it was about a 300% return on the risk in 1 month. So, but that's only 1 month. So I need a larger sample size. And if you know anything about data analysis and statistics, you can get skewed, or you can come up with skewed conclusions if you don't have enough of a sample size. So 1 year of backtesting is probably not enough. And then on top of that, and that's because, market conditions are always changing. You go from cool markets, you go to hot, like right now we're in a hot market, right? Everything's going up. S&P's flying right now. It just hit 5,000. But eventually it could be next month. It could be 2 months. It could be, by the summertime, the markets are going to cool off or they're going to go down. And, with that strategy, you're going to lose money. So it's something that I have to keep playing around with. But basically all I'm doing is taking my main strategy, monthly swing strategy, and taking the same idea and applying it to a daily basis, right? So that's it. I am looking to even go further down with it and trade intraday. So instead of like trading a daily candle, you trade a like 15-minute candle. But that's going to take a little bit more expertise, a lot more. And I am not putting any real money at risk for any of these strategies yet. So don't like go and start trading this stuff or trying to, make money with it right away. If you want, backtest it, research it yourself. But for now, this is something that's more experimental. It's just like in the works. I'm always trying to create new strategies on my own time, and just think of new ideas. And sometimes the ideas aren't new necessarily, but it's taking that idea and applying it to different time frames and different assets. So, yeah. But it's very fun. I mean, like, listen, I'm kind of like a nerd. I am a nerd when it comes to this stuff, but it's because I have a passion for it. That's why I'm giving away the stuff for free. I mean, I think most people, with the amount of time and money I've invested into trading itself, I've probably put more time in than your favorite gurus. I mean, most of the gurus, not most, but a lot of the gurus I see that are just taking your money. I mean, these kids were probably picking their nose in the high school bathroom stall while I was, already working in finance. So I'm not trying to brag, but it's true. I mean, a lot of these kids are probably like 20 years old telling you you can make $1 million in a year. Just give me $1,000 a month and we're good. It's just how it goes, and people believe it. I mean, it's crazy. Um, but I'm not going to go out there and pump my fist and try to revolutionize the space. That's someone else's fight. There's another channel that I like that already does that, and he gets plenty of views and subscribers, and I'm rooting for that guy. But as far as my channel goes, it's pure analysis and data analysis and statistics and backtesting and research. That's what I try to focus on here. So that's pretty much it. With that being said, let me look at, I haven't looked at the markets, the overall markets, and I forget to do this because I get so caught up with like my own trades and what stocks I'm looking at, like what they're doing, and I neglect the fact to look at like the S&P 500. So SPX right now, 4 months in a row. I mean, this thing is just taking off right now. What about the Qs? Qs are looking good. So, I mean, this market is just on its way up, right? And, there's people calling for recession and stock collapse and all that stuff. And every time I hear that, I like to look at a yearly chart. And I know not all of you can do this if you don't have the TradingView like Plus or Pro. I love to look at a yearly chart of the stock market because it puts things into perspective. You have all the alarmists, and I used to believe them a lot, and I used to think 2022, I was like, oh yeah, the markets are going down, and they did go down, and I knew inflation was going to happen. I was calling for inflation, and I wasn't calling for it on this channel, so I can't really pound my chest about it, but like I knew it was going to happen just by looking at the money supply, and how much it went up during COVID. But whenever I'm feeling shaky about the markets or I'm uncertain, I just look at a yearly chart and just go, look at the amount of times the market closed lower in 1 year. It only happens a couple times. So this is SPY. Or we could look at SPX, I guess, too. So S&P 500. I mean, most years it goes up, right? And usually the best part is usually after you have a down year or a couple down years, it goes back up. And it goes back up even more. Usually the returns after a down year are higher because money on the sidelines is going to start coming in. And the markets are different now. I think the markets are a lot different now. You could just see it looking back. I mean, this is a logarithmic chart, but you could see how, like, especially during the 80s, like pretty much 1980s, when the computers came on scene and technology really started to get into everyday life. And you could see the effect it had. And then, of course, you had the dot-com bubble. And then you had the 2008 financial crisis. But other than those two events, the markets are going up. So, you got to put things into perspective and look at the long term. And I know it's kind of hard to do as traders, because we're always just worried about like what's happening in the next week or the next day or the next month. But I always just like to sometimes take a step back and look at a yearly chart. I mean, last year the markets went up 24%. And this year so far, we're up 5. I mean, we're up a lot so far this year. And we're what, a month and a half. We're a month and a half into the year, right? We had January and a couple weeks of February. So, this market is probably going to have a couple down months, and you can see, you go to a monthly chart. I mean, if you exclude 2022, which was a down year, but if you look at a typical up year, I mean, you usually get a couple months down and then it's back to the races, back up. And that's why it's so important to buy the dip and always stay long. Like whenever prices are going down and I'm about to buy, I get excited because I'm buying a discounted price. I think it's Warren Buffett who said, the stock market is the only market that people get upset about when it goes down. You can have discounts at a grocery store and people flock and they go buy as much as they can. But you can have a discount in the stock market and people run away. Like you have to treat the markets as if you're going to you have to treat the markets the same way as you treat like grocery shopping or any sort of shopping. So when there's discount, you should be licking your chops a little bit. So yeah, but I like to stick with seasonality because it always keeps you on the up and up usually. That's at least what my back testing has shown. So. Oh man. So what do you guys think is going to happen tomorrow for Nvidia? Well, Nvidia, Fortinet. I put a trend line on Fortinet because it's got a nice trend here. If we hold this trend on Fortinet, and I'm only doing this because we already got through earnings and we're still holding the trend, we could be looking at like $75 on Fortinet by the time we close. And if we get that, if we get $75, I think that's about 100% gain on my option. So that'd be nice. Kind of sucks because we were up like 100. I was up 130% the morning after earnings, but I didn't sell. I held on. So. But yeah, hopefully Fortinet gets back up there, gets up to 75. Nvidia, I have no clue what's going to happen. Other than the expected move, but that doesn't really tell us much other than where price is going to go most likely after the earnings release. But as far as hold on a second. As far as the price goes for Nvidia, if we hold this trend, now again, this is just a line on a chart, so what do I know? $800? I mean, are we going to hit $800 roughly? Possible. I think if we're going to hit $800 on Nvidia, it's going to be post-market earnings. That's when it's going to hit. Because it's not very far from here. Let's say price is right here. I mean, that's only a 10% move. So, and Goldman Sachs put an $800 price target on Nvidia. So, it's ready. It could happen. So, that being said, guys, I'm going to pack it up. Been streaming for about an hour now. Probably won't be streaming into this weekend. Even Sunday, because I got so much schoolwork to do for grad school. So a lot of research projects that I have to do on my own. So I definitely will be streaming on Wednesday. I definitely want to stream that day and be around. And yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Again, have a nice weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. It's great. And yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like. That's the best thing you can do for me. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notifications as well so you don't miss out on any streams. And of course, stay profitable. I guess that's a new saying.